It ended up being a more destructive choice than not. And you don't really see that at the time. You just see it as that momentary pleasure, like, I want to get high now. Then I thought, what's the worst that can happen? I ended up getting high and was laughing and everything, and I thought it was fun. I was just really curious, like anybody else. The first time I smoked marijuana was, I think, in grade 10. There was like maybe 8 or 9 of us, and on the way back from school, we had smoked quite a bit that day. It was pretty much impossible to hide the smell no matter how hard we tried. But I remember being in class, and my principal came to the door and asked if I was there, like, is Andrew Thompson here? I felt like I was put into a corner, and I had no choice but to tell the truth, or it was just going to be a lot worse for me. It was a bit of a different atmosphere at school after that, like when I got suspended and everything, and all the guys got suspended. You don't want to be that guy that's, sort of the rat, if you will, but that's kind of what I was, I guess. Even after I would smoke sometimes when I was by myself, the high wouldn't really be so great anymore. It would be more of like a depression. It would be more of an alone feeling than anything else. I was dependent on it for a bit after I got caught. There was not really many people around to smoke with. That was something I depended on after school by myself. And then I started doing it on a more regular basis, and then it became a habit, and then almost a daily thing. So I met this guy, and I didn't know if he knew who I was or what I had just gone through, but it didn't really seem to matter to him because I told him what happened. And then just eventually we hung out one time, and then the next time we went to the movies, and that's where we had a very interesting conversation. He just kind of flat out told me his testimony and told me that he had an encounter with God and Jesus Christ. Right when he said that, like something just clicked, and like this feeling just came over me. And it was just the most amazing feeling I'd ever experienced. And I looked at him, I just said, man, like, what was that? Because I feel amazing right now. We weren't smoking pot, like we weren't high, if you will. It was like just this natural high, this feeling just kind of like started in the middle of my chest and spread throughout my body. And I felt like I was on top of the world. It was just this amazing feeling that I never forgot. In that moment, it was just like, I knew that was God for sure. I just knew there was something there that was beyond what I could physically see in this world. That's when I went to my Bible. I hadn't really gone to the Bible to look and see, what it said or anything like that. I think at the same time, God was trying to work his way into my life. I met Kelly at the end of the summer in 2010 through a mutual friend of mine. I had never met anyone like that before who really just was so beautiful on the outside, but even more so on the inside. There was something about her that was different. We started going to church together after we started dating.
He liked the pastor, he liked the message, he liked the upbeat songs, so that was really good. I was happy to find that out.
I heard the Bible presented in a much different way than I had before, and it actually made sense and was relevant to our life today, not just 2,000 years ago. It actually seemed like something that I could apply to my life now.
One day, it was on Easter Sunday, he decided to give his heart to God. And then we came back to my family's house for lunch that day, and he told my family, he told my dad and my mom, and everyone got really excited. So it was a really, really good day.
She has seen a lot of change in me, and it's been definitely for the better. And like I said, it's something that she didn't pull out of me. It was she actually let the Holy Spirit do the work, if you will. She let God do what he had to do and intervene in my life himself. And she just stood by and let him do the work.
And now he's just pulled a 180. He talks differently, he thinks differently, his goals in life are different. It's just really a different mindset.
But I believe that there's people that are still in that dark place like I was 10 years ago, sort of trying to find myself and discover who I really was. And I just think it's worth it to just be bold enough to say, you know what, I trust in the God that's there, in the God that really exists and is good, and he wants a relationship. He wants to have a relationship with us. Prayer is just your conversation to God, and also he can speak to you in prayer too, and it's not in necessarily an audible voice, but in those quiet moments in your heart when you know that there's something you should do that's right. That's just the voice of God. the difficulties we go through, he's with us in our pain, you know. He suffers with us even at times, and it says in the Bible that there's nowhere where God is not. He's omnipresent. So, but as I've opened my heart and just kind of let go and let God, if you will, he's revealed himself to me, and he'll do that for anyone. It's still an open invitation. You know, Jesus reaches out his hand and says, you know, will you come with me?